I bet on my club. Yeah, I bet on my club.
Okay, dream so big that they think I'm crazy. Let out the beast, no, they can't tame me. Don't play with me, better mind your business. I cannot stop now, I ain't finished. I'ma keep on going till I got that. Okay, the way that I'ma do it, they can't top that. No way, critics trying to hate, but I don't talk back, I know that. I know the kid with the bull, tell him all that. I'm the one that I'm a gambler.
Hey, welcome to the Frequency Sake Podcast Network and For Fantasy Sake today. The network is presented by Durham Remodeling, Ryan Allison Tattoo, and Jared Zook Country Financial. And as always, For Fantasy Sake is presented by Clint's Draft House Pizza and Grill. And it is week 12, if I've done my math correctly, of the NFL season. And we are in for a good one today. A lot of buys. Buy-mageddon has hit. And we will get to all of that here in a short while. But every year, we like to raise money for toys for Tots, and Doug, we had a big day yesterday.
Yeah, we certainly did. So we packed up the crew. We had the guys from Card Subject to Change. We had Sam from Points in the Paint, obviously DJ and I. We had OG Chris Steele on board as well, as long as the brains of the operation, Mrs. Megan Jarvis, came along with us as well to do Toys for Tots shopping yesterday. We visited the Davenport Walmart. You may have seen some of that stuff on TikTok or on Facebook. We raised $2,600 this year. We actually ended up not spending all of that money. We actually dropped $2,100 at Walmart yesterday. We are going to be dispensing money to some of the other shows. The Football Lounge is going to be getting some money, and Mr. Brinks as well will be getting some cash to distribute toys in their area. Based upon from what we were told a couple of years ago, we donated like $1,000 worth of toys. We were told we helped like 25 families in the Quad Cities. So for $2,100, we're thinking about 55 families here in the Quad Cities are going to get some toys out of just us, which is always great. So we want to thank everybody who played in the leagues. We want to thank everybody who donated money. We want to thank the sponsors. We did have somebody who actually won the Keenan Allen helmet. That was Jordan Mattia. That is our Keenan Allen helmet winner. So that will be reaching you shortly as soon as DJ sends that out. But we did want to jump on and thank everyone who participated, who donated. We want to thank the good folks at Walmart. This is our 4th year going there now. They know who we are. They give us a lane that we can check out in. We don't have to fight the hordes as we go through, which is really nice. We've kind of got a nice little system there now. So it is really nice to be able to do that, and it's a good time for us to get. It's the only time of the year we can get the crew together, the Quad Cities crew together. So when we can do that, we like to do that. So it's nice to have everybody together. This is our one big kind of event of the year. So we want to thank everybody who donates. We will be doing some additional stuff next year. DJ's actually got a golf outing in the works. So if you are in the Quad Cities area, make sure that you and you like to golf, make sure that you sign up for that. And then obviously there'll be more details, and then obviously all of the leagues next year as well. But wanted to jump on, say that we wanted to thank everybody. I was trying to make it out before Joe Winkle showed up, but he just snuck in the side door in there.
Still got bullied into joining by DJ.
Love you, Joey. All right. But I wanted to jump on and say thank you to everybody, and thank you for everybody who donated this year.
Thank you, Doug. I am looking forward to doing a little shopping here in the Ames area here in the next week or two with the cash that you guys dispersed my way. And there are a few Toys for Tots drop-offs around town. So I plan on spreading the joy as jolly old St. Nick Brinks in Ames.
Make sure you wear the hat and take some pictures.
That's right. So we'll catch you later, Doug.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later.
So it is week 12, and as Doug bids us farewell, we welcome Joe the Show Winkle. And I had this grand introduction for Daniel today. I was going to say, unlike another Daniel from New York, we are still fully gainfully employed here. And then he told me that he got let go a few weeks ago, but he's got a better job lined up for this week. So I'm gonna stick with it. our Danny from New York, fully employed and ready to go here on this Sunday for Week 12. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Well, I was good till you called me out live on air. That was great. I told you that in confidence, man.
So does that mean like Daniel Jones is going to be the Chiefs quarterback in like 3 weeks?
Listen, we have a potential chance that Daniel Jones signs with the Cowboys and
I want to
plays
see
the
Thanksgiving.
Giants. I would love that. And then he turns in to like when he played the Vikings that year they made the playoffs, like that level Daniel Jones in one game and just destroys the Giants, gets shown fired just off that.
That would be so great. Because as of right now, everybody's going to be in their Thanksgiving dinner coma for the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock game that day that we have Giants Cowboys with like second and third string quarterbacks playing. Daniel Jones facing his former team would make that matchup 1,000 times better, even though the game would still be complete ass.
Yeah, what a way to you get the excitement of the Lions at 1 p.m. and then you can get a nice little 3-hour nap in so you could stay up for Dolphins Packers.
Well, let's not say it's too exciting. We've got Joe here. I don't know how exciting that'll be for the Bears.
Yeah, Joe's going to be in a little bit of hell. He's got the Dolphins at Lambeau
with temperatures in the 20s. Not boding well for Tua there.
And Illinois plays that day too. They played during the 3 o'clock slate. It could be a horrible
bang,
day.
bang, bang right there
all day.
We could have a trifecta of Joe's sadness.
Or what if I go 3-0? Just saying.
Tattoo on your forehead?
I'll probably wake up in a ditch.
It's a Jonnu Smith's number tattooed right here on top of your head.
It'll be Jonnu Smith's. Never mind. Anywho, good morning, everybody. How are we doing today?
We are doing well. 6 buys this week: Jets, Saints, Jaguars, Bengals, Falcons, Bills. Oh, the Bengals, man. And they I think they could maybe use the bye. We'll see how they come out, if they can come out strong on the other side. But man, what a brutal season it has been, despite an MVP level performance from their quarterback and defensively, etc. Coaching, not so much. So,
well, and for the Jaguars, I mean, they've already lost and they're in a bye week, so that's more impressive than anything.
Yeah, I saw that Jaguars versus the bye was favored by 2.5.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's just Doug Peterson on the other side of the field. But with the Bengals, at what point in the Bengals where you say, okay, this is the 3rd year in a row now that our defense has been one of the biggest liabilities besides, like, obviously the offensive line is always going to be a key issue with this team until they can fully prove me otherwise. But this is the 3rd year in a row where their defense got exposed early in the year and they did nothing to fix it, even after the bye. So what's going to happen here? Because if you remember last year, like week 2, Derrick Henry ran for like 200 yards against them. And then every team realized, oh, we could run them to death. And that was their downfall. So what changes are they going to make after the bye here is what I'm more concerned with than anything.
Maybe they could sign Daniel Jones to play safety. You got practice
safety
this week. But yeah, we'll see.
Line him up at edge rusher opposite Trey Hendrickson.
That's the shameful part. Like how good Trey is and has been all season, but just around him, just nothing.
It's not.
And
let's
not forget, kicking woes have not been kind either. That's not been good.
Yeah, it's not just that Burrow's having an MVP level season. It's Jamar Chase is having an offensive player of the year type season, and Trey Hendrickson is having a like DPOY adjacent level year, and they are 4-7.
Yeah, you look at all of the numbers on that offense, especially for Burrow, and it's like former MVP, 16-1, or like 15-1, 13-3, 12-4 records, and it's like 4-7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing is, like, because there's always a stat I look at, and it's luck rankings, where it's how many times have teams lost off a bad penalty call, like a bobble that turned into an interception, or like the last second touchdowns, things like that. They're one of those teams that every week you're just waiting for it to kind of level itself out, and it's just not doing it. and it's gonna happen too late. That's the problem. Is that where do you go from here when like you pretty much have to win out the rest of your division just to make a wild card?
Yeah. Right now 9-7 or what? I guess 10-7 is their ceiling, right? 4-7 are they? Are they 4-7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So 10-7 is their ceiling, and we've seen nothing that says they can run the table. The offense can, but
No,
defensively,
and then like you look at their schedule too. Like they got the Steelers, who I think a friend of mine was telling me the Browns were probably going to win that game because they're more focused on the Bengals than anything. But you have Pittsburgh, Dallas, and Tennessee should be easy games. You got Cleveland, who could be a hard one because there's Jameis Winston always has that weird motivation in games they're supposed to lose. He'll always win it. And then you have
division games are just weird in that division.
yeah, and then you have I could give you Dallas, Tennessee, maybe Cleveland, but then you have Denver and Pittsburgh, where Pittsburgh will have a lot on the line in Week 18, most likely, that you have to get through. So it's at a certain point, you just kind of got to say, okay, where do we, wait till Burrow takes one hit too hard and just say that we're going to sit you the rest of the year.
Yeah. Lot to digest there here in the next couple months of the season. Let's move on to naughty or nice. And first off, thanks everybody for joining us this morning. It's For Fantasy Sake, presented by Clint's Draft House. Drop us a like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. And if you've got any fantasy related questions, drop them in the chat. We will sprinkle them in throughout the show. So naughty or nice, 'tis the season. Jared Goff should be in MVP talks. How do we feel about that one?
I'm guessing nice is the good.
Yeah,
DJ really didn't explain it. He just said we're doing this.
Yeah, we've done fantasy Tinder. You pick a side, naughty or nice.
I'm gonna put him on nice. I've been telling Joe this for 3 weeks since that Vikings game. I've been saying this. I said he needs to be in the MVP conversation because it's not just how well his team's been playing. He's been so efficient. He hasn't thrown more than 30 times since week 3. And he's completing like 80% of his passes for 250 plus yards. That alone, in my mind, should put him in that conversation. I think it's going to go to either Josh Allen or Lamar this year. But I think Goff needs to be in that conversation with the way that team is playing.
He's definitely in the conversation. Like if there was,
go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. He should be in the station. What were you going to say though, Nick?
Oh, I was just going to say we have talked a lot this year on Educated Ignorance. How I have been like Joe Burrow, MVP candidate, if their team was doing well. So it's like you take out one of the best overall performances of the season and say Joe Burrow is the 9th favorite for MVP right now. Jared Goff is up to 3rd, but if it's an award that comes down to who is the best player on the best team, like it seems like it has been the last few years, I don't think there's any reason Goff should not be in the conversation.
Yeah, I think the one thing that's going to hurt him. Go ahead, Joe.
I think Joe has a terrible delay today. No, we are like 6 sentences into the next
y'all go. Y'all go.
Joe, just type in the private chat when you want to talk.
Yeah, y'all go.
Yeah, I think the one thing that'll hurt him in this is that if you take him out and put an average level quarterback, how much will that affect the team the way Dan Campbell runs, the way Gibbs and Montgomery are playing, versus like if you take Lamar or Burrow or Josh Allen out of those teams and put an average level quarterback, where are they sitting compared to where the Lions are sitting? I don't think the Lions would be where they're at now, but I wouldn't put them below 6 to 7 wins already this year, if not maybe more, versus if you take Josh Allen out for the whole season with an average quarterback, they're probably 4 wins in.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree that the Lions system feels like more of a plug and play system than any of those other ones where the actual quarterback is making a huge difference. And again, not taking anything away from Goff. He's doing really well, and it's not somebody else in that spot, but I do think, like you said, it wouldn't be a huge drop off if you had Daniel Jones slinging the rock or something in Detroit, you know?
You said his name too many times. He's going to get signed now.
We'll find out. So it looks like Joe's trying to get his internet connection straightened out. So it's just you and I here. Tyrone Tracy Jr. as a solid running back option with Tommy DeVito at quarterback.
God. Well, first we need to put the names up here because Drew Lock should be quarterback, and that is my point. That will be my point forever with the way this team's ran is ridiculous. And even like Giants radio sports radio I was listening to the other day said it, that why would you bring Drew Lock in to a situation where you know you need someone who can come off the bench and outperform the starters if need be, as we've seen Drew Lock do, but then you give it to the sideshow. Not necessarily saying like it's just a gimmick, because we've seen he could show flashes, but Drew Lock's been your QB2 all season. Why not promote him? But anyway, I would say, yeah. I would say if you're low down and you just need something to get a couple points, I think the big problem is if DeVito starts to struggle, that ball is going to Tyrone Tracy almost every single time, and that will be the huge problem.
Yeah. And I mean, what can you do to help a young quarterback the most? And that's really to establish the ground game. So I feel like they have to give him the touches to take some of the pressure off. Granted, what pressure is there? The Giants have nothing to play for this year. But I do think certainly not like a league winner by any means, but I'd say I lean nice that if you're desperate and you need something, I would feel comfortable putting him in if you're thinking him or some other team's RB2 or something like that. Not ideal, but not the most terrible thing in the world to me anyway. Now, the most terrible thing in the world may actually be in New York, and the Jets. Are their pass catchers reliable with all of the drama? There's been talk that maybe even Rodgers could get benched. My goodness, what a dumpster fire that has been this season.
This is simply Aaron Rodgers getting his revenge against the Johnson & Johnson founders more than anything for the COVID shot. But I mean, it's like, what can you do? You have you started the season with a for sure number one in Garrett Wilson, and he seemed to not want to throw him the ball. And it almost now, like, given how many targets Devontae's getting, it almost felt to me like he was just saying, okay, I'm not going to throw to him, so bring me Devontae and I'll throw. And it just, no one's catching the ball, no one's finding a rhythm. You can't really rely on him to stay long in the pocket because he has no leg anymore. This whole team is just, I think they're starting to get exposed for having like one good year, and then all the, last year without Rodgers, the whole thing was on Wilson and how bad they were playing. Oh, it's because Aaron Rodgers isn't in, when really they just weren't playing well. So I think they need a whole regime change. Maybe not GM, but I think they need all new coaches. I think they need to go and get a quarterback this year. So if Rodgers does somehow stick around 1 year, you can just say, okay, well, if you're not playing good, we have a top prospect that we're putting in for you. They're not reliable. I've pretty much taken them out of my lineups. I'm willing to trade any of them if I have them in anymore. But what can you do? The best option they have is Breece Hall, and you can't stop, and you can easily stop him now.
Yeah. I think the most telling stat to me has been when you compare the winning records of Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, and Aaron Rodgers as a Jet. Aaron Rodgers has the worst winning percentage.
Granted, yeah.
Much smaller sample size, but nonetheless.
But look at how Wilson did last year with essentially the same weapons compared to this year.
Yeah.
And it's a similar output, and that's the big problem and they have a weaker schedule this year than they did last year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's woof. Between the Jets and the Bengals for different reasons, those to me seem like the two teams that are just like, man, what are we doing here? You should not be this bad.
You're kind of in that no man's land of, do we just commit and hope it works, or do we blow it up now and never wonder if it works or not?
Yeah. But I think at this point we can honestly say the Aaron Rodgers success in New York, or the Aaron Rodgers recipe in New York has not tasted good.
Isn't that like kind of like tradition at this point now? A Packers quarterback starting to get past his prime, goes to New York, sucks, and then goes to Minnesota and then retires. So Aaron Rodgers will probably be in Minnesota next year.
It's still, they're still on target. Still
Jordan
possible.
Love, 2032 starting quarterback for the Jets. Lock it in.
Does that mean Aaron Rodgers has sent
money on that?
Aaron Rodgers is sent to the Vikings, yes.
No, I was going to say, does that mean that Aaron Rodgers is going to have a scandal where he sends dick pics to a New York reporter here soon, or no?
Or will he defraud some welfare for charity?
You missed my scandal theory is that he's doing this on purpose to get back at the Johnson family for the Pfizer shot.
Yeah, that's a good theory. Yeah. That's a great theory, honestly. I like that. Big fan.
Next up on our naughty or nice list, Buffalo game is an indication of Chiefs passing offense. And if I remember right, there wasn't much there. Kelsey didn't do anything. Hopkins didn't do much. It was the Noah Gray show. And when it's the Noah Gray show, things are usually not going well for Kansas City. So to me, it is an indication, because I have said all season, Joe, this offense does not tickle my fancy.
Your fancy was untickled. All right, what if? Let me cook. Let me grab some paprika, sprinkle it in here. Let me grab some rosemary, some thyme. Let me salt, black pepper.
Look at us, three white men who know seasoning.
Some cumin. Let's
Can we
start
get
stirring
some
it up
ranch on
here.
this, Biz?
Yeah, because once it's done, you dip it in ranch and just throw in all of it.
Most Midwestern thing I've ever heard you say, Nick.
That's what I was going for.
Okay. What if the Chiefs didn't lose on purpose, but what if they just went into that game saying, guys, we're ahead. We've lost a bunch. We haven't lost in ages. Let's just run a game plan and try a bunch of different stuff that you would normally try. So they said, our game plan is going to be Noah Gray is going to be number one priority. And defensively, they tried a little bit different stuff, maybe some softer coverages, not as many blitzes. And that's why they were getting gashed on third downs all day. Lure the Bills into a fear of like self-confidence, only for their dreams to get crushed. Like a can of Red Bull when you're playing video games and you just got a good KD ratio and you're happy and excited. What if? Just saying. It was. You know what the Chiefs' game plan was for last week, Nick? Science.
But I could maybe give that a little more credibility if their offense had been impressive the rest of the season.
It had been
overall.
improving.
Yeah, that is not a team this year that the offense is carrying. It's been a defensive effort. And
You're
a little
right.
luck. And a little luck.
I think
weird stuff.
Also, Buffalo probably had a lot of motivation with, hey, this team is severely injured. Their offense just feels stagnant. This is our best chance to beat them right now.
Yeah.
Here's the biggest problem for them. I'm being for real. Let's be serious for a moment. Shout out to Lance Storm. If either one of the card subjects change guys are watching, they'll pop with that one. Their problems, they have two big problems. Number one, their tackles are ass. Bonafide, fermented, bold, like capital A, capital ass. Bold font, italicized, underlined.
Just one
Max.
S?
Huh?
Just one S?
I said capital A, ass.
Oh, I thought you said capital A, capital S.
No, capital A, capital ass. All caps, bold font.
Underline.
Italicized. And even like the new iPhone feature where you could make your words like pop and like ripple sometimes when you send a text. So it's that. Their tackles stink. That's why they went out and signed someone this week who's not bad.
As bad as that emoji I sent you the other day.
Yes. And the other two problem is Patrick Mahomes is like addicted to throwing just horrendous interceptions this season. Think of week one where he just threw the ball literally right into the chest of Roquan Smith. Think of the Chargers game where he literally just threw a lofter down the sideline and then proceeded to end his wide receiver one season by taking his knee out, by blowing his knee out. And then last week, second play of the game, just lost like airmails and throw over the middle, and it gets picked. So those are their two biggest issues. One of them, fixable. Patrick Mahomes, the greatest player I've ever seen in my life. Stop being an idiot. Number two, I don't think the other one's not that fixable. Their tackles are ass, and that's something that very well, if they do not win the Super Bowl, very well could be in the postseason. They get caught down, and all of a sudden they're playing a team that can just wreck their game off the edge, and they don't have an answer for it.
Time will tell. Time will tell. Last up on the naughty or nice list. Let's get real for a second. We need a little more paprika here. Christmas tree up before Thanksgiving. Naughty or nice?
Naughty. I'm as much as like, especially like living in New York, like unless you have like away from my family, Thanksgiving is not as much important to me. So, but like I can't do it. Like I get so tired of seeing Thanksgiving or Christmas stuff. It was November 1st. We went to the grocery store and Christmas Oreos were already out. That is heinous. I mean, granted, there's no Thanksgiving banger songs. There's no Thanksgiving like specialty food items other than, like mac. Everything is just brown, right? It's just depressing.
Different shades of brown.
It's literally
what a
like,
take. What a take. What a take. There's no songs on Thanksgiving. Everything's just a different shade of brown.
There's a Thanksgiving romance novel, 50 Shades of Brown.
Yeah. What do you mean, bro? What about Mariah Carey's new hit, All I Want for Thanksgiving is Applesauce? I don't know.
Applesauce?
All I Want is to be stuffed by you. Was that her other song?
Yeah, all I want is to be stuffed by you. Yeah.
You can't put Christmas stuff up until after Thanksgiving. Like, even my take is this. That 3-day window where between Thanksgiving and Christmas where you're like, oh, if I start celebrating now, people are going to think I'm weird. Like, and then it can't start until December 1st. That is my hot take, my theory on it. Like, I went on HBO the other day and I was trying to watch a movie, and the first thing that came up was Elf.
50 Shades of Brown.
Yeah, it was just Larry David on the toilet doing stand up for an hour.
Not for fantasy's sake, though.
No. But if I started a Christmas movie came up on my thing on like November 7th, and I was like, this feels wrong. Like no, can't come up. That's my rant. 50 Shades of Brown will now be my new Twitter handle.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back to the 50 Shades of Brown podcast, where today we talk about flows.
Who's stuffing who?
Yeah, exactly. It's the new 50 Shades of Brown numbers.
It's crazy how many viewers we lost after I said that. I'm just pointing that out.
It's climbing. It's climbing, baby.
Chapter 4 is going to be about the new Broadway hit musical Diarrhea Flows Like a River. It's easy though. Nice.
Chapter 5, whipped cream, and I'm not talking about the stuff you get at the store.
Oh boy.
Oh, we're losing it, boys. We are losing it. I'm going to say nice. As a father of 2 kids, we did put it up last weekend just for a little extra time of Christmas joy around the house.
Yeah, it's what I did all day yesterday. Instead of shopping for toys, I put up Christmas stuff all day. We put out 4 inflatables in front of the house. We have 2 little doggies, a gnome, and a Grinch. On the opposite, they're opposite of Tommy Turkey right now, as Tommy Turkey spends his last week in the front of the universe. And then put up the Christmas tree, did some stuff on the stairs. And then also put some decorations on the stairs. So yeah.
Well, I'm marrying a Jew, so we're doing nothing this year but Chinese food. So that's the way to go.
Now we're
There you
talking.
go.
Chinese food and yelling at the
For-
Knicks.
For a bunch of men, I think the answer for your Christmas decorating comes down to, are you single? Are you dating or married? And they make the decisions, and we just say,
The
yes.
thing is,
Correct.
fall triggers every man's urge to go chop down a tree, and that's the problem. Is we want to do it sooner and sooner.
Are you saying like we're all primarily that one guy who's on TikTok who who just chops those big ass
We
pieces
all
of
just want
wood?
to like split a stump in half. Yeah.
Yeah, just with the axe, just fucking just cutting. Like, who would have thought that? That's like what a world we live in, where you can just be out in the wilderness. Now, granted, like the guy is more cut than just fucking anything and you could ever imagine. Like, homie's got like abs on top of abs, and dude's just out here hacking and whacking away at big old chunks of wood in the forest. Like,
Hacking
listen,
and whacking. That's chapter 7.
yeah.
DJ just texted me and said that's just 2 girls, 1 cup, Nick.
Oh man,
A story or what a beautiful what a world, what a time to live.
we have given new meaning to fantasy today. We'll
Yeah.
take a break, and we will play the ultimate roster game here in just a few minutes. It's for fantasy's sake. Football ? Presented by Quinn's Craft House.
For frequency's sake has you covered on all things sports. From the squared circle to the hardwood and the gridiron to the speedway, we've got something for everyone. Walk down the aisle with the boys from Cards Subject to Change every Sunday as they take a deep dive into everything pro wrestling. Head on over to the hardwood with Doug Green and Watching the W each week for all the news from the WNBA. Want more insight from Pit Row? Check out the Green, White, and Checkered podcast where they give their insight on everything happening on and off the track. Need your gambling fix? We've got you there. Dan Hancock and Gotham Gambling will help you cover the spread with the Golden Ticket Show. Football more your style? Explore the waters of NFL DFS with DFS Deep Dive with Brian Craighead and Jordan Kernan each week. More into the science portion of the game? The Professor John Bush and Dennis Michelson take you into their science lab and dissect your week in the data lab. Need to know who to start last minute? The network's flagship show, For Fantasy's Sake, is here in a pinch. The fellas come to you live every football Sunday from 10 to 11:30 Central with the week's best DFS, gambling, and lineup advice. And wrap up your Sundays with Joe Winkle and Nick Brinks as they come to you live with educated ignorance, looking at all the day's action. Not enough football on Sunday? Not a problem. Kick your feet up at lunch on Monday and slip into the football lounge with Mark and Dan while they look at the week that was in news, notes, and more. For frequency's sake, you know what we mean.
Do you really know what we mean, though? I don't know. That is the question. Let's play a game. We like to do this each Sunday. It's the ultimate roster game on Twitter, or online, I guess. UltimateRoster.com. They give you a new scenario to play through every week, and we're going to do it here today with Joe Winkle and Daniel Hancock. I'm Nick Brinks. Let's do it today.
With God in the chat this hour.
I saw that he left many minutes ago.
The minute we started the poop jokes.
Let's see. So it's the letter J. All career stats applied from 1970 to 2024.
Wide receiver, you'd have to go Jerry Rice then, right?
We'll start there. I feel like passing numbers they may be more skewed toward today, while running back numbers are skewed toward in the past, but we'll see. And these are all first names, letter J. But yeah, I think Jerry, obvious option. Anybody else jump out at us here?
See, I was thinking Josh Allen, but not. I'm kind of Jake Delhomme.
Famous tight end John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Javis Kelsey.
His name is my name too. Javis Kelsey. I don't speak.
I'll put him in as a placeholder.
Yeah.
Part of me was thinking Jake Delhomme, but I don't.
Jamal Williams. Or Jamal Charles.
Oh, that's a good one.
Not Williams, Charles. Maybe I'll throw him in as a
Was
placeholder.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just on there?
I hope so. Oh,
Oh, good old Jay Ajayi. He brought joy to me for that one game in Miami against the Steelers.
someone put in the, or actually it was us. Shit. Put in the, comments.
Oh, Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
I think that's probably pretty safe to say he's got a longer career that spanned 15 years as opposed to like 6 or 7. Right?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay.
What
Can
are
we
some
think of a
other-
tight end?
He played for y'all's team too
Who?
in the 90s. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Legendary.
He was great.
1,000 yard season in 96.
Tight end starting with a J.
Tight end. That's chapter 8.
Jatavion Sanders. He's gonna have a 10,000 point game this year.
Just do.
Let's see. Joe Winkle. Is he on here? Nope.
No.
Is there a Joe?
His tight end, his end is very tight,
John?
though, they say. Wait a minute.
Jim.
John
Jimmy Graham.
Jim. Oh, Jim. Yeah, Jimmy Graham.
And we need
I don't know
one
about
more.
this one, Jim.
Say Jim McMahon wouldn't be.
Nah, I don't think I'd put him. I
No.
can't imagine Montana level. Any other Jims? Joe, John,
Jacob, Jingle.
Jacoby Jones, Jason Witten, probably another option. In
Oh,
the chat.
God damn it.
Yeah,
God
probably the
damn
best
it.
one.
Do you think him over Jimmy?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
for
I
tight
mean, you
end?
could probably put him in the
Tight
flat.
end, yeah. Do you
No,
want
no.
to? We could. Who should we put at tight end, and should we put the other one as the other?
No, we shouldn't. We're idiots.
So
Julio Jones.
okay. Now, who do we need to put?
Between Witten and Graham,
Yeah,
I think Jimmy Graham. Right?
it's like their career was 13
Well,
years.
Witten played
versus
17 years.
17.
And he was the number one he was a top 2 target on their team for about 15 of them.
Yeah, you know what? There we go.
Should we roll? Should we lock it in?
We did pretty
Why
damn
in
good
that
here,
why
boys.
in that photo does he look like Walmart Stone Cold Steve Austin?
That's Jason
All right.
Witten's music, my God.
You got him at
How
Toys
did
for
we
Tots.
good? How good we did. Hey, we got everybody, but we missed out on running back just a little bit. So let's see where we. John Riggins. Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that. But we literally nailed every single other one. Boom. We did it, boys.
No, John Elway was technically the number 1 quarterback, but
Oh, shoot. I didn't even see that. Why? It always throws me off when they give us an. Oh, okay. It was an A-. I thought that was an A+. All right. So who would have been
It's all right.
second? Who would have been just a regular A if it wasn't Joe Montana? That's a good question.
Jamarcus Russell.
yes.
All righty. Well, still successful. We did I. So again, get all your questions in. We will have time throughout the show to answer your fantasy football related questions. And we will do that here in just a little while. We will also play Flex, Marry, Kill. Nothing gets you in the Thanksgiving spirit than flexing, marrying, or killing those at your family gatherings this week. If you're in the South, you might have another one in there that doesn't revolve around kill, but we'll see.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Does it have to do with cousins? We should go rogue and instead of talking about the players on the list that DJ craftedly always incredibly puts together in a great way. We should just talk about like Thanksgiving foods. I'm kidding. Well, I'm kind of kidding, but I'm also
Nick, you're supposed to
kind
be
of
the
very
host of
serious.
Reason.
Throw it in. Why not?
You're supposed to
We
be
can
the
throw it in.
host to keep me and Joe from going off track.
Hey, I've let us off the rails several times. And certain trains have probably been involved in that. All right. We'll take another break, and we will come back. We'll do some flex, marry, kill, and we'll go into the break with a little less laughter than the last break.
All aboard.
We got one laugh. Serving the Quad Cities area since 1973, and with over 50 years of excellence on their track record, you'll see why it's so easy to trust their experts when it comes to all of your home improvement projects. This family-owned business has you covered on all your needs. Protect your home or building from the elements today and get great roof repair services. Need new windows? No problem. Durham Remodeling can upgrade your windows and doors. Whether you want to upgrade the little details in your home or office, or want to tear a room down and start fresh, the expert contractors at Durham Remodeling have your back. Even the smallest changes can completely transform your space. Ready to start entertaining your friends for backyard barbecues? Durham Remodeling will help you plan, design, and build your deck and patio for the perfect outdoor space. Durham Remodeling's work is 100% guaranteed, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best service around. Call 309-786-6715 today for your free estimate for all your roofing, siding, flooring, windows, and painting needs. That's Durham Remodeling, 309-786-6715. Flex, marry, kill for this week only. And we'll start at the top. Rashad White, Rico Dowdle, Javonte Williams. The running back position, how is it looking, gentlemen?
God, I would just rather not touch any of them.
I would rather, Rico Dowdle, probably send him to Alcatraz. He's killed. Javonte Williams, I guess, flex. But Sean Payton kind of just throws darts at like a wall to see who he's going to play at any given moment. So who knows? Like, he could pick the ball boy up today. Imagine, what if? So the Saints, they got to make some cap things this year happen for next season. Even though cutting him would probably be worse than just keeping him because, again, their money situation is terrible. If the Saints got rid of Taysom Hill, do you think the Broncos would absolutely sign him, right?
I feel like it would be the most logical choice. With
be
Payton.
Like minus $1 billion odds. Just randomly thought of that. And Rashad White, I guess we're marrying.
Yeah, imagine you're a dynasty owner for a Broncos running back, and then they draft another running back the next year, or sign another running back, and then you have to go through that stress of like, will my running back actually touch a ball this year?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, this guy got one more carry than the last game. Oh God, now I'm RB3. What do you mean? Yeah, I have no opinion on this one. All three running backs this year have just made me want to vomit when I look at them as like options.
To me, while the last few weeks have been super depressing as a Rico Dowdle owner, he's still technically RB1, right? Like there's not a whole lot of competition there. So I feel like eventually the blind squirrel finds his nuts.
Shout out to me who did an entire fantasy draft just on names alone and how cool the names were. Because you're looking at
Dowdle's on the list.
Tanks Bigsby, Dowdle, but also a Bucky Irving owner with Tank Dell as well.
That's true. Those are good names. So I will. I'm marrying Dowdle. Against the Raiders, I feel like Javonte is maybe worth flexing, but I don't even know.
It just depends on who Sean Payton spun a wheel to decide who he's going to give more touches to.
Yeah, because it was literally against the Chiefs. Like Estime had a decent-ish game where people were like, "Estime's going to start."
And then the next game,
people should go get Estime off of the waiver wire for the what game? The last week against Atlanta, and then they just spam Javonte Williams carries. Like, oh, he's still alive.
If there was a way to read when it makes sense, depending on like how the defense attacks, then you could easily like when it was Kirk and Ridley last year, depending on the defense, you knew who was getting the ball for Jacksonville. Like if there's like, I got to do my research into that, into like what the defensive like approach is that they're going into each week to decide who they're going to run. Yeah. Like if it's like a blitz heavy team, they might go with one guy I've noticed who's better with like outside runs more than inside. And if it's like a team that plays a lot of zone defense, they tend to go with another guy. I just have to do my research on it. My free research tool on this decided to go premium like a bunch of assholes.
I
Yeah.
hate when they do that.
Yeah, how dare you make money off something you put your time and effort into?
Yeah, how dare you?
This is
Yeah,
America.
We need like tarot
As I'm
cards.
about to promote my VIP page.
We need like tarot cards or a Ouija board for running backs. Who should I start this week from Denver? J A V O. You don't say. The spirits are out here. Spiriting.
It just goes B, and then Bo Nix has 30 rushes.
Yeah. He's just quarterback power left and right.
Let's move on to receiver. We've got Jameson Williams, Josh Downs, and Tank Dell. Flex, Mary, kill.
I will flex Tank because I think even with Nico back, without Diggs, he's now officially wide receiver 2, and the way he's played as wide receiver 1 warrants a good amount of attention today. I'll marry Jameson. I'm gonna have him in because it's almost like Taysom Hill. Like you have 1 week he's got like 1 point, 1 week 3, and then all of a sudden it's 4 touchdown catches, a touchdown throw, and 8 rushes for 100 yards. I think this is a good matchup. Yeah, it's a good matchup for him today. With Josh Downs, the Colts have kind of went to a run first approach, even with their quarterback. So I just don't see. Again, it's one of those, like we talked about it last week. He's either going to have 2 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown, or 8 targets, 1 catch for 4 yards.
Wouldn't you be run first with your quarterback if it was Anthony Richard, who's a freak?
Not against the Lions.
Yeah, I don't know. Today's going to be very interesting for that game. I think I'm going to go because I'm going to marry Jameson. I want to flex. I want to flex Josh Downs and kill Tank Dell. It's just if I'm doing it for today, the matchup's tough because like Indy could be not punchy, but Indy could like hang around in that game. But the Lions are just on a different planet right now when it comes to just absolutely blasting teams into another universe. So
you remember that stat I brought up last week? In the first half, the Lions are now the point differential is 169 to 40 in the first half this year.
That's so silly.
In the second quarter alone, it is 118 to 13.
So what you're saying is I need to put Lions second quarter spread on the sheet this week.
Dude, I've done that. I did that last week, remember?
You did.
And you remember, Joe, because I'm going to call you out on one because I said I was going to do it at least once. When the Vikings went up 10-0 at the end of the first quarter, you said the Lions are cooked. And then what happened?
They rolled
28-10 at halftime. They beat you down in the first half or after the first quarter to where you're so exhausted and you can't take a break. And I think they're going to do that today. Anthony Richardson got tired just in the middle of the game. What's he going to do when he has to go full game against the Lions?
Let's see. What is the spread today? In the
7.5
quarter. In the second quarter, though.
I don't even think they're going to have that up till the first quarter ends. I'm going to look at that. While we look for this, let's go to the next one so we're not wasting too much time.
Flex, Mary, kill. Let's move on to another trio of receivers: Jalen Waddle, Rome Odunze, and Romeo. Where art thou, Romeo Dobbs?
It's 3.5, Joe, at plus money.
On FanDuel, where you can make every moment more, it's 2.5.
Did you see the FanDuel thing the other day? They put a promo out on the app mid-game saying, hey, come play blackjack while you wait for the next play to bet on.
That's probably state-specific because we do not have casinos.
Yeah, I know. My buddy in PA saw it, and he was like, there's no way they're trying to get you to do a quick blackjack hand in between downs they want you to live bet on.
Hey, I love me some blackjack, so they'd probably sucker me in a little bit.
Come bet on this
when I was in PA, it got me so quick. I was like, yeah, I'll play a couple hands. And I was like at breakfast, like 30 hands in. Like,
just gotta keep doing.
Just cap and crunch.
I'm like, Dad, I know we're going to the Pirates game in an hour, but I gotta win this hand. I'm on a hot streak.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a BJ here, Dad. Wait, what?
Whoa, Dad.
Dad.
I hope this is not the episode your kids are listening to.
I hope it is.
No, they're at church. God.
Like, what's 50 Shades of Brown and what's a BJ?
Oh,
Daddy, why is
side note-
Mariah Carey singing about stuffing the turkey?
yeah. Side note: BJ McLeod, the back marker NASCAR driver, Joe. My buddy and I, we always call him Blowjob McLeod, and we laugh every time, every single time.
We're fucking children.
We are.
Mary. Ooh, all right, I'm doing it. I'm putting my BJ on the table. Wait a minute.
Your
put my
Brandon
Johnson
Jacobs?
on. I'm putting my
What was that
Johnson
noise?
on.
What hit the table there, Joe?
Don't you want to? Wouldn't you like to find out?
That's how he
Come
got
find
that
out tonight
house.
live. Come find out tonight live on Educated Ignorance. All right, killing Jalen.
I forgot we were doing this.
Flexing Romeo Dobbs. I guess maybe this is his week to not get suspended. Mary Rome Odunze.
This
Speaking
was
into
a
existence.
this was 100% a Joe targeted question to see if DJ could just piss him off.
Why would you be mad?
With
That's
Jalen
fine.
Waddle and just a Dolphin and a Bear player.
I mean, Waddle's been awful this year. And
I've been seeing a lot of people taking Odunze touchdown, and the market's like in a really good spot for it. Especially with how quick he's been trying to get the ball out lately. So I'll flex Odunze and I'll marry Dobbs. This Niners defense is good, but it's more of it's the same thing kind of with the running backs in Denver.
Hold on, timeout. Objection, Your Honor. The Niners defense isn't good.
We all know
And
the Niners
Bosa's not
defense will be able to kick in at any point. They're not as good as they were last year. I still think they're at least top half of the league.
Yeah, that's fair. They're like 14.
But the thing is, again, is this. It's more of the Packers wide receiver room is the same as the Broncos running room. You don't know who's going to get the ball each week. And when that one person gets the ball, they're getting like 100 touches. Or they're just going to say, oh, we're just going to give the ball to Josh Jacobs 50 times today. So I've always been iffy on them. I think they're a good flex spot, but yeah, Waddle I think is just out for me the rest of this year because Jonnu Smith is now wide receiver 1 in that room,
Which is crazy to think about.
Remember last year how mad I used to be at him because I would lose all my bets on Kyle Pitts because Jonnu Smith would throw a touchdown pass.
Wild.
Now he's my favorite player. I'm gonna go buy a jersey if he scores a touchdown today.
Number 9.
The Nick Westbrook Akine Jonnu Smith anytime touchdown parlay just going to cash.
It's plus
I have them
1,800.
We already bet it.
We already bet it.
I have already got both of them in my DFS lineup this week. I was convinced last week.
I texted Vasco at 8 a.m. I said, I've already placed it and sent him a screenshot of it.
It's the Danny special right there.
Nice. All right, last one. We'll see if we can get through this quickly, and then we will do some more fun stuff here in just a little bit. Bucky Irving, DeAndre Swift, Marvin Harrison Jr. We're going to throw a couple running backs and a receiver in the mix to spice things up a little bit.
I'll flex Bucky, I'll marry Marvin, and I'll kill off Swift.
That seems fair.
Yeah, I agreed, especially today. Good Lord. DeAndre, I'm really, one of the things I'm really worried about today, DeAndre Swift might get Caleb Williams murdered. There is no NFL running back that I have seen this year that just enjoys going rogue, completely fucking rogue, self-sabotage, double agent, CIA operative, conspiracy theory, aliens are real, in pass protection like DeAndre Swift. That motherfucker will literally run up at a linebacker like he's going to pick him up and blitz, and then just run out into the flat. And then all of a sudden, Caleb Williams just getting speared like Solo Sikoa against Roman Reigns. And, the linebacker just sets up and goes, "Oh, ah," like everyone's tribal chief. And then Caleb Williams becomes a victim. Goodness gracious. And it's going to happen today 4 times. And I'm going to scream every time DeAndre Swift gets Caleb Williams destroyed.
Get the group chat ready.
Can't wait.
All right. We'll get to some questions here. I know Calvo has been waiting patiently. He's got a question for us. If you've got your questions, Submit them wherever you are watching: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Pornhub this week. I don't know where we're at.
Jesus Christ!
You go to church with that talk?
But earlier, I come home from church and I am cleansed to
you're refreshing your
dirty
thing.
again for next week.
Forgive me, Father, for I did a live show.
Nick Brinks, his tagline is "bathes in holy water." just out here getting squirted in it. Oh,
that
me.
We've got some
Thank
highlights.
God Doug was not on this show. We would not have been able to do any of this if Doug was on the show this week.
Oh, we're about to get DJ or Doug here in the chat and just knock it off, boys.
Guys, I need you to be more friendly.
What kind of whose impersonation is that?
I was trying to do DJ, but it fucked up, and I had to commit.
Jesus.
All right. Well, maybe we'll come back if we're not kicked off. We'll be back here in just a moment for Fantasy's Sake, presented by Clint's Draft House.
When you're working to achieve your financial goals, it helps to have some trusted guidance along the way. Jared Zook with Country Financial is here to help you identify your goals and provide more support to work through any changes life may bring. As both a financial advisor of Country Trust Bank and registered representative of Country Capital Management Company, Jared can help you plan for your financial future. As a Country Financial insurance agent, he's prepared to help you with insurance options to protect the people and the things that matter most. Jared is there to support you as you plan for the future and to help you worry less and live more. Jared is licensed to insure in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Kansas, Missouri, and Tennessee. Call Jared today at 217-698-0599 or find him on Facebook at Jared Zook Financial Representative and tell him For Frequency's Sake sent you.
All right. We are back. Normally, Brian talks DFS right about now, but he couldn't make it with us today. So before we get any further, Calvo has been waiting patiently, and he's got a question for us. What's up, fellas? Debo.
Well, Calvo.
Or
Sorry,
Tracy
you had to sit through this.
today. Yeah, no kidding.
Calvino.
Somehow the view count just keeps climbing, and I don't know why. Must
Me.
be the new website we're streaming on today. Debo or Tracy, PPR. I don't even know who's throwing the football for San Francisco today.
Brandon Allen.
Okay.
Why is Josh Dobbs not starting?
Because then they would have to bench Purdy for the rest of the year.
Wow.
It's the annual Josh Dobbs plays great for 4 games time of the year.
Well, no. Okay, timeout. I get it. You are being insanely okay. Sorry to answer this question. Who do the Giants play today?
Tampa.
Oh, that's tough, Debo.
So I'll say Debo. My opinion on this is mainly that with DeVito at quarterback, and as bad as that offensive line is, and as much as Tampa likes to blitz, they are going to blitz the shit out of them today. And
they're good
if
against
Tracy
the run.
gets it,
And they're good against the run.
yeah. So and they're gonna force balls to Slayton, and if I don't even know if Neighbors is playing. Someone said he was questionable last I saw. But this is not going to be a great game for Tyrone Tracy if you're between him and Debo. I think Debo loves little screen passes, and they like using him as a running back with McCaffrey back there. So I think this is a good game for Debo to get at least a couple gadget plays in. So I'll trust him, especially no Ayuk. Kittle's kind of still not 100%. And if not him, I think Juwan Jennings is the only good target, good option today.
Juwan Jennings. Okay.
Juwan Jennings.
So again, thank you, Calvo. Thanks for the question. If you've got more questions, hand them over, and we'll share them to the interwebs. Do you guys have any DFS takes for today? We won't dwell on it like we normally do with Brian, our expert here. But if there's any stacks or guys that you guys have your eyes on, I'm looking at my lineup now, ready to make the changes.
You already know. I'm just gonna say Johnny Smith and Nick Westbrook-Akine. So
I've already got them both in.
yeah, if you want, I'll go ahead.
Roll
I'll
with
go
him.
over. We got one more question here: Robinson Jr. or James Conner?
Ooh.
I'll
I feel-
go. I'll go B-Rob. I've seen a lot of people taking B-Rob for a touchdown. He's gonna get a good. Even though the Cowboys defense has gotten a little healthier, I still don't buy that they're gonna bounce back magically. And this,
I mean,
with,
Mixon just desecrated that offense. a week ago.
and Robinson's gonna
defense.
get a similar carry package than Mixon has. So I could see, if anything, I think Robinson's going to be the guy that Jaden Daniels is going to throw an 80-yard bomb, and then at the 2-yard line they're going to give it to Robinson to run a power play. And you might get like a Jerome Bettis style 10 rushes for 9 yards but 4 touchdowns kind of game. But I think the Cardinals are going to rely on the pass today.
That's not a bad take there at the end. I'm just going to say James Conner for the fact that the only reason I'm saying him is because I have him in 2 leagues. But outside of that, I don't despise the takes there by Danny at all.
Yeah, I think there are worse spots to be in. I don't hate either guy today. It's not an obvious pick, but
If you want,
certainly do worse.
I'll go over my best bets today, so that way we can give Joe a 30-minute window.
My window today is not going to be that long.
Okay,
I don't
great.
have the
I'll
energy.
go long.
I don't have the energy, and today's betting slate is dog shit.
Well, fun fact: almost all of my bets are first quarter or first half bets, so this is going to be great.
Bro, the entire go ahead.
So, my favorite play today, we posted it on the Moneyline Go newsletter. If you guys are not familiar with that, we post a daily newsletter of best bets for football. It comes out every morning at 10 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays with our best bets. We had like a 4-1 day yesterday, and we're looking at a 4-0 day today. But my favorite bet, and we talked about it a bit, I added in a second quarter spread just for fun, just so me and Joe could say we agreed on a bet for once, and it wins.
Mm-hmm.
I took Lions minus 4.5 in the first half. When they were -7 to start on Sunday, I thought this line was going to kick up to 10. So I was kind of waiting that out to see what would happen. The line stayed the same because I think a lot of people are expecting Indy to kind of keep a good motivation going after last week. But this Lions team is filthy. We talked about it before. The Lions in the second quarter alone this year, the official stat is the second quarter alone point differential is 119 to 27. And in the first half, it's 157 to 63. This is one of the best second quarter teams. They are going to wear you down. And the Colts have not been – they've only scored 70 points in the first half this year. They've scored just under a touchdown or just around a touchdown in the first half versus a team that is scoring just about 3 scores in the first half. I'll trust the Lions here. I don't see any reason why the first half shouldn't be an absolute destruction. And my next favorite bet is on the Bears game, Joe. So hold your breath here. This is their first quarter play. I'm taking the Vikings first quarter money line. It's at -125 right now on BetMGM.
It's a really good play.
This is the main reason why I like this. Joe, do you know how many points the Bears have scored in the first quarter this year?
Yes, I do.
How much?
The answer, I believe, is 3.
10. They've scored 2 scores in the first half the entire season.
Quarter.
Do you know what?
Who
the
fuck did we score first quarter touchdown against?
Do you know? I think it was the Titans game.
No, it wasn't. They were scoreless until the second half.
Do you know? But either way, do you know how many points the Vikings have scored in the first quarter of the season?
Too many.
72, and they've only given up 10. They have
math
a plus.
says the math.
The plus 62 in the first quarter alone. The Vikings have, if you look at how their points have moved offensively and defensively, they are not playing well in the second half. They kind of start out strong, and then they're kind of hoping that the other team spirals. I don't want to take. It's the same thing with the Colts game. I don't want to take a Bears team that has shown a little bit more life in the second half, according to the numbers. I don't know if Joe will agree with me on that, but I mean that alone, the first quarter alone, kind of showed me the Bears have scored 65 points in the fourth quarter. They play better in the last quarter of each half, so I'll trust the first quarter win for the Vikings more than anything. And then we had to do it. It's 4 weeks in a row that we have hit this bet now. We hit it at plus 800, and it has dropped every week because people are starting to catch on. Nick, your favorite football player of all time, Nick Westbrook-Akine, anytime touchdown, plus 380. He has been ever since Calvin Ridley ever since Hopkins been gone, everyone's been focusing on Ridley. Akine has gotten at least 5 targets per game. He's gotten a touchdown in 4 consecutive games. So I'm taking him at plus 380 to score a touchdown. The only other real look I have that might come as a bit of a shock here, Jalen Coker over 24.5 receiving yards. The Chiefs' main issue offensively has been in middle of the field guys, so slot and tight end. So and Coker's been getting a lot of touches recently, so I put a little bit of money on him to get 25 yards. And I didn't bet it, but if you want something to sweat, Jatavion Sanders at plus 1,000 to score a touchdown today for the Panthers.
Bold.
So here's why I like this. In the last 3 weeks, he has had 8 targets only, right? All 8 of them have been in the red zone, inside the 10-yard line. He is their go-to middle-of-the-pack touchdown guy. If you remember against the Giants, he scored that first passing touchdown that Bryce Young threw. He was wide open down the middle. I think everyone focuses so much on Leggett that and Coker that Sanders just kind of sneaks in there like Jonnu Smith. But I didn't bet it, but that's personally. But if you want something to put, like a couple of dollars on and sweat out today, Jatavion Sanders is a sweaty pick.
There we go. I like it. We will get to the Sinister Six. Joe's picks next.
My name's Ryan Allison. I've spent over a decade immersed in the art of tattooing. Sharply honing my skills has materialized into a diverse and prestigious body of work. Each tattoo reflects my relentless pursuit of excellence, and every client I work with is a living embodiment of that unwavering commitment. I will gladly and wholeheartedly embrace your distinct vision.
All right, Joe. What's the Sinister Six look like this week?
It's not that sinister. This slate's ass for betting.
This is the week he goes 6-0 just because he said that.
We have one actual spread, and the rest is gimmick because all of these lines, like just rolling through, like for example, Packers versus the Niners this week was mint. It was this overvalued, mediocre as shit Niners team only catching 1.5 in Green Bay. So with Green Bay, one of the 5 best teams in the league, laying less than a field goal against a dog water mediocre ass team, I was ready to fire it. It was going to be the play of the day. Packers minus 1.5. Let's go. Lather up. 5 out of 5 baby oil bottles. We're here. But instead, Brock Purdy has to get hurt. And instead, Kyle Shanahan has to go start Brandon Allen, which to finish the statement, I understand Danny earlier was joking about then having to bench Brock Purdy. But if you haven't realized, guys, the Niners are about to be in last place after today if they don't win by multiple games in their division. I don't know, Kyle Shanahan, start the better quarterback. Actually, I lied. Start the worst quarterback so you can get fired and then you can get hired by the Chicago Bears next season. So now that game's run out to 5.5, it's in the Vegas zone. Who knows what Niners team is going to show up today? The Packers definitely are more than capable of coming out and just laying an egg in a game where they should now that the game is flipped to where they actually have expectations. So I'm not laying that number. There's some fun games out there. Like the slate isn't bad, as in like the games are that bad. Like Cardinals Seahawks, banger. The night game tonight is going to be really fun. The new slate is going to be a bit rough, but hey, I'm a Bears fan, so at least I get to be dialed into either watching them blow me away or just completely disappoint me per usual. But like the Bucks Giants game, it's run out to 6.5. Where do you go with that? It's Tommy freaking DeVito. Panthers Chiefs is way too many points. The spreads are massive. It's just hard to put stuff together. So it's gimmicky. But let's start with the one actual spread that we have. And I know it didn't come home last week, but guys, he's not a wagon against the spread. He's like applying for wagon status. It's Drake May plus 7.5 against the Dolphins. That's too many goddamn points, guys. The Dolphins aren't that good still. I don't care that I don't care that they went to LA and won handedly because Stafford played bad and the defense just randomly woke up and decided they were going to chop Robinson, said, guys, I'm going to have a really good game. This is going to be fun. And their defensive line dominated. Listen, can't wait. That'll be just the Dolphins. It'll be so Miami for them. It'd be more Miami for them to win today, get everyone's hopes up, and then just get absolutely pantsed by the Packers. But wouldn't it be funny if they did lose today? I don't think they'll lose, but I do think I do think that number is way too damn high. Patriots plus 7.5. The only other thing that we have that's actually points related is Lions in the second quarter. As Danny said, we were going to fire that minus 2.5 against the Colts because why not? Let's get weird. All right, we talked about that Seahawks Cardinals game. That game is going to be fun. Winner of that game will have not a stranglehold by any means, but a lead in the NFC West. We're going to go over 46.5. Rough defenses on both sides. It's just, this is an opportunity for points to be scored. The Cardinals defense, I think, is definitely due to not get lit up, maybe get lit up, right? All year, they have played well. They've had some turnover variant stuff. It's not like their defense has been amazing, but they have held some teams to lower scoring than you would expect for what they are. I think they are insanely well coached. I think the Cardinals have one of the better coaching staffs in the league, so it's not like what they're doing right now is fluky. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I think today could be a bit of a shootout. Kyler versus Geno. You know what that would be good for, Nick? The agenda. So here we go. Let's let it rip. Over 46.5. Couple team totals here. I have no idea. So we have a good friend, Danny, provided them to me, called Betalytics. One of the top plays they had today, Danny, I'm sure you saw this, was the over in Commanders Cowboys. I'm going to stay away from that because even though the Commanders defense is very shaky, very coin flippy, I don't want anything to do with relying on the Cowboys side of the offense to hit a total. Because I did that a couple weeks ago in the Eagles, and they decided to not score and turn the ball over 5 or 6 times. So we are just going to stay on one side of the half on this one. Commanders team total over 27.5. Their offense is due for a bit of a breakout. So I'm expecting them to have some fun today. Jane Daniels is just going to stunt. Jane Daniels will make Micah Parsons look silly on at least one play today. Can't wait to see it. And then Micah Parsons is going to go fucking podcast about it. Like the overrated player that he is. Look, guys, he's really good. But
the Paul George of the NFL.
Oh, good one. That's a great take. That's a fantastic take. Goddamn, fucking 6 out of 7 baby oil containers. That's how good that take was. Lather me up like
it's
a
our
dog.
new scale for
lather me up like a dog in Crisco.
How many shades of brown? How many shades of brown bad is he right now?
36.5.
We'll have to make a graphic to pop up. And Joe's 50 Shades of Brown. It's all the teams he thinks are ass this year.
Yeah. And the Cowboys right now are 47 shades of ass at least. Another team total, Broncos going on the road to take on the Raiders. The Raiders offense, it's very not good. They've had bad coaching. They fired their OC. They've had bad quarterback play this season. It's literally the list. I have it here. It's a who's who of quarterbacks that they have employed this season from the likes of, our current soon to be actual standing. I mean, I guess I should say our vice from the names of our vice president elect JD Vance to the Firestone Firehawk to Don King and Larry King. Big Bird has made an appearance. Zach, maybe listen, today their quarterback, they might roll out Chicken Fry and Zach Brown, if you know what I'm saying. And God knows that domestic dispute's not going. It might be more entertaining than anything else the Raiders are going to put out there on offense. So why not let them go out there and run a dual quarterback system?
Asia Wilson goes out to quarterback today.
Yeah, exactly. Their quarterbacks today are going to be Asia Wilson because I have to throw a third in because they have Desmond Ridder. So their quarterbacks today will be Asia Wilson, Chicken Fry, whatever her actual name is, and Zach Brown. It is Zach Brown, right, Nick? It's Zach Brown. It's Zach Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't. You're a country guy. You haven't paid attention to that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
Now I don't know if I don't know exactly what you're talking about. If
they're going through like a messy split, like a very very messy split,
like
P Diddy oil room messy, like
Moonlight Man shorts messy,
50 Shades of Brown messy.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
5 out of 5 Moonlight Men shorts emojis. Yeah, very sad, very terrifying. So yeah, all that to be said, Raiders team total under 17.5. I can't bet team total on the Jags this week, Danny. So I have to find another incompetent offense to rip team total under.
What was the one we were gonna start running? It was the Eagles under team total in the first quarter, and then the next week they had like 10 points in the first 5 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just like, God damn it, that was fun. So yeah, all fair in love and betting bad offenses for team totals. So yeah, Raiders team total under 17.5. And last, an under, Bucks and Giants under 40.5. Offensive line for the Bucks beat up. Tristan Wirfs out today. The Giants just are starting Tommy DeVito. So, all's fair in love and chicken cutlets. So that's an under that we are going to fire. Who knows? Maybe today's the day we go nuts. But I don't know. We'll see. Had a great week last week, 4-2. Like, we're literally inches away. We are a literal historic event happening last week, which was the Chiefs not covering a fucking spread when they're underdogs. And then I think there was another one that I literally just missed out on, and we could have been 6-0. But hey, it's okay.
We survive. You live. You talk about it. It's okay.
It's going to be okay. The vibes are somewhat immaculate today. You know what I'm saying?
We've got some questions to get to next, and we will do that when For Fantasy's Sake continues.
Do you love everything sports? So do we. That's why we shop at Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles. Atomic has everything you could ever want to blow up your collections. They have sports cards ranging from the 1980s to today, whether it's singles, wax packs, hangers, or boxes. They've got vintage hats, clothes, and collectibles from your favorite teams to widen your collection. Check out Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles today at 102 4th Street West, Milan, Illinois.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football. Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and Twitter, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big time football out there tonight. and I know we can play big-time football.
You from the West. We got you covered.
Listener questions. We've got our final segment to go. It is Bye-Mageddon week. 6 teams on a bye. Bills, Falcons, Bengals, Jags, Saints, and Jets. And we've got some questions rolling in here. Speaking of bye week death, we've got, I'm guessing this is maybe DJ asking the question. I'm not sure.
Let me see if I'm playing him first this week, if that's his matchup versus me, before I answer this one. Oh, no, I'm playing Jordan. Never mind.
Did you say it's Estime?
Yeah.
I honestly, until you said his name, I had been so not paying attention to the backfield in Denver. I literally had not even heard of that guy's name until this morning. So that's pretty wild. Shepard or Pierce as well for a flex spot. I'm assuming this is Sterling Shepard? He's with the Bucks now, right?
Mm-hmm. Sterling Shepard revenge game sounds fun to me, right?
That'd be fun. That'd be done.
Sounds like something that would be something. Given how like every Giants player that has left has had a great game at least once this year, that's made them be like, I can't believe we let this guy go. I feel like he's due for it. Now my question is, because I'm playing Joe this week, do I start Lamar or Jared Goff? That's a tough one.
Chargers defense would kind of scare me a little bit with Lamar.
Yeah, but you got the running game with him too.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm worried about is if I start Goff and they get blown out or they blow him out, he's not going to touch the ball.
Hey, they still they score in the fourth quarter when they blow these teams out.
Yeah, but he doesn't throw it.
Maybe they will.
Because that was the thing. The last time I started him was that game against Tennessee where they were up like 28-0 in the first quarter. And he had like 8 fantasy points because they didn't throw the ball until the fourth quarter, and then they put Hendon Hooker in.
That's true. But in that game, I mean, even the touchdowns they were scoring early, it wasn't Goff. It was all the running game.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think didn't David Montgomery have a passing touchdown before Goff?
Yeah, that game too. That's what pissed me off.
Oh, the Titans game. I've got a Jared Goff, or not a Jesus, not a Jared Goff question. I got a couple. I got to start. I'm dying, guys. I have a start sit question for you. Mike Evans or Jaden Reed? Mike Evans first game.
This is Mike's first game back, right?
First game back. Jaden Reed, an underrated wide receiver 1 in fantasy season. Now, granted, some of that, like, he's been the most consistent target for the Packers. He does have a couple huge games that bolster this. Like the week 1, he had 33 points in PPR. Week 4, he had 27 points. He's only had really like 3 stinky games. So yeah. And Mike Evans is just a bona fide printer of points. So what do y'all think?
I'll let Dan take that one.
Come on, Dan.
I'll go Evans. I think he's going to have a big game today. Mainly, I know there's a little concern with him coming off injury, but I was looking at it, and every game he's played without Godwin, with them being on the same team, he's had at least 8 targets or more, and it had at least 60 yards or more, and a touchdown in 4 of those 6 games. So I think they're gonna, if anything, to kind of keep themselves afloat in that horrendous division, they're gonna I don't want to say force feed him, but they're gonna force the ball to him close to the end zone at least. I was gonna answer earlier, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't the game because me and you were playing each other this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to make sure it wasn't your lineup going against me.
No.
Yeah, because I just asked him.
The 2 sleeper leagues I'm in are both. Well, I guess are we playing each other in the?
We're in the staff league.
Okay, yeah. The only league
because I played Jordan in the Reaper.
Yeah, the Reaper league I'm still locked into because
I'm still getting yelled at by Lydia because I told her to start Mike Williams this week for a fat 0 points.
Ooh, 0 points.
And she's got Kate Otten sitting on her bench right now.
That's just that's sleep on the couch worthy. Oh my god, I have to
I mean, she's got Stroud and Mixon, so I'm sure she'll be fine.
Yeah, no shit. So yeah, all right, good point though. The point you made about Chris Godwin not playing. Great job there.
All right. Dylan's got some questions here. Got a lot of questions, actually.
Dill.
Let's see here.
Who is that in his profile picture? Is that an ECU player? Let's go.
That is trying to see here. You guys will have to remind me, who is this D Valley guy?
He's like wide receiver 2 on the Broncos that everyone's been high on.
Okay.
But he didn't touch a ball until last week. Like for like 5 weeks in a row, I've heard his name, and then he just got his first touchdown last week.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Outside of Bo Nix and Javonte Williams and Cortland Sutton, I really do not know that Denver offense.
That first one, you already know who I'm picking. And that it's not even a question. You don't even have to ask me. My king, Nick Westbrook-Akine.
I will say Schoenmaker had a really good week last week when he came in for Ferguson.
And Ferguson's out this week, but
yeah. So I could have some fun with that one too.
If you want the safe pick, Schoenmaker. If you want high ceiling,
the chance at a 98-yard touchdown on a
not even that, he'll get like 3 touches for like 30 yards, but he's gonna get like 2 targets in the end zone. It's gonna make it worth it.
There you go.
It's more out of principle. I've talked about him so much. He's like required to be started in my lineup for the next 2 weeks at least. Right? Like I can't talk about like how much this guy's gonna make me money and then just not bet and not put him in my lineup.
True. And then quarterback, looking for upside, Baker or Kyler.
I'll go Kyler.
Yeah,
Joseph?
I would go too. I would as well. Real quick question: how long is Tank Bigsby out for?
No clue.
All right, never mind.
When they lost in London, I just was like, yeah, I'm not going to pay attention to this Jaguars team anymore, except for fading them.
That's a great point.
And then they covered the backdoor spread against me, and now I hate them even more.
I would go Kyler today.
Akers, Abdullah, the Gus Bus ship Mostert off to the sun. He's droppable. Miami has given up on him.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
I would say 8.
Laube. Who's this Laube guy? I don't even know that name. Man, I am out of the loop.
He's in bye week hell though. If he's bringing up guys we don't even know.
That's for sure.
I would say Akers is probably your best bet because they're giving him touches down in the red zone more than anything.
Running back for the Raiders, Dylan Laube. It's a white dude.
You got to start the white dude.
Played for the university. He's from West Hampton, New York.
He's a rich kid.
Went to West Hampton Beach. Went to New Hampshire. Played out 6th round draft pick. Yeah, fuck it. Buyer, let's go. Play that guy.
Joe is just
be the genius of your league and start him as he goes off for 4 catches and 100 yards today.
Or 0.4. Possible.
Hey man, as Nick Westbrook-Akine showed last week, it only takes 1 or 2 weeks ago.
That's right. No, it was last week, right?
It's 4 weeks now in a row he's done that.
It only takes
last week
1
or 2 weeks ago?
Last week he had the 98
yards.
yards. 2 weeks ago he had 3 for 45 and a touchdown.
Man, this is just mean.
It's tough. It's big tough.
Okay, this might be our last question. Aaron Jones or Cortland Sutton PPR, and then at quarterback Geno, Tua, or Darnold.
Geno.
For Mr. Powell.
Give me Aaron Jones and Geno.
Yes.
If anyone's going to expose, I think they're going to focus too much on Jettas today. and trying to slow him down. And I think we could see an Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison sneaky masterclass game.
Yeah, I think Jones should have a good game. He fucking owns us too. He kills us every time we play
15.
him, so.
You can get his rush attempts at 14.5 right now too at -110.
That's good money.
All right, gentlemen, we did good. We had some fun. We didn't get fired yet.
Not yet.
We won't go through all of them, but who do you think might be a QB1, running back 1, wide receiver 1, or tight end 1 type candidate today?
RB1, I'll go Jahmyr Gibbs. QB1, I'll say Geno or Kyler, someone in that game. Wide receiver 1, I'll go Nick Westbrook. No, I'm kidding.
He got close last week.
I know. Wide receiver 1, I'll say AJ Brown. And tight end 1,
Jonnu?
God, I want it to be, but it won't. I'll give Kittle.
He might, yeah. He's gonna need to be. He's gonna need to have a big day if they're gonna have a chance.
Yeah,
he will. Yeah. I don't have anything that elaborate for all of those. Not for today. My
buy or sell. Do you like snow games? That
Hell
was fun
yes.
on Thursday. That was good stuff.
This was the
That was like the
greatest
best
thing.
kind of snow game where
The
like you
argument-
still move the ball and have fun.
The argument that like owners have been having of having dome, every state team have a dome. Now that was like that set them back like years on that, because that was like one of the like. Did you see the NFL Films video of like Jameis Winston's touchdown? It looks like it's straight out of a movie. Like I'll have to send it to you, but it's like slow mo. You could see the flakes falling on him as he's running. Like
I love that it looks like old school static on your TV, like for the whole second half.
But not only that, can we talk about the perfection of it being an AFC North rivalry game too? Like it wasn't just like, oh, it's the Patriots versus like the Vikings or something. It was like a division rivalry game that had huge implications too.
Yeah.
Made it so much more fun.
It really did. That fourth quarter was just quarter was absolute magic.
Rip to my under bet of under 36.5 when they scored 27. Bro, I went to bet in the third quarter feeling like I got this in the bag.
That fourth quarter was
next morning. What the hell?
That fourth quarter was a bad beat, Scott Van Pelt.
You want to talk about bad beat? So yesterday I had James Madison -7. I turned the game off in the second quarter because they're up 17-0. They gave up 24 points in 6 minutes.
Whoops.
Literally an 80-yard touchdown pass, a 3-and-out, and a punt return for a touchdown on the next play.
He said, whoopsie daisy. Yeah, it's tough.
Fuck the Sun Belt.
All right, last question for the day. It just popped in from the Smitty, and then we'll head out and enjoy our Week 12 action. Will Marcus Jones getting more, or will he get more snaps on the Patriots offense? You guys will have to take this one. That's another name that
I don't even know that name.
Yeah,
I would say probably. I would say probably not really. No.
What is he, like RB3?
I thought he was one of their slots, but he's probably a receiver. He's probably running back. I would say no. You're like deep in the bin, unless if you're going for props. If you're betting on him, I have a phone.
1-800 bets off.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when I looked up his name, it came up an election result for the Arizona House State Senate 2. So that wasn't a.
Okay, I think that's the right guy. Actually, he's a Patriot. Apparently,
you know what he is. What a way to send us off. All right, Nick, get us out of here.
He's a punt returner and a cornerback.
I'm like dying right now. Get us out of here,
gentlemen. It has been fun. Another edition of For Fantasy's Sake, presented by Clint's Draft House, is in the books. May your teams win. May your fantasies be fulfilled on and off the football field. Enjoy this Week 12 of the NFL season. We will talk to you guys soon.
This has been a For Frequency Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency Sake on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.